Lures people, welcome back to my channel. And I thought it'd be a great idea today to do kind of a review and lessons I've learned in 2023 because I think that would be really nice. So I have my 2023 planner with me, and as not everyone knows, but as you all know, at the end of the year, I always do a yearly reflection of things that has happened. So the way I do this is I would go through every month from January all the way to December and kind of list out the different things that has happened in that month, like more important stuff that has happened. And then at the end of doing all of those review, I would do wins in 2023, like stuff I've achieved, and then lessons I've learned during that year, and kind of just an overall reflection of that whole year in general. And this year I did something different as well in terms of reflection questions that I got from Ali Abdal that I thought was really good. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do this kind of yearly review. I hope this will be inspiring and helpful for you too to reflect upon your year. I know I'm a bit late, but I think it's a really good exercise, and it's also good for me to kind of know the things that I've done this year as well. So let's get on to the video. So let's go through the wins. So first of all, I quit my first ever corporate job and dived into sales, and which I became the top sales rep in that company. And then I met a lot of different and new people in different areas of life, which I'm very grateful for. And then just spent time with my mom and my family in Chinese New Year as I went back to Hong Kong, and trying my best to just pave my own path and meeting new people in business that really supports my journey, and also trying much harder in my spiritual journey and learning about those things with energy and spirituality as well. And in terms of lessons I've learned in 2023, this is the bulk of the video. So in terms of energy dynamics and relationships, so this is something that I truly believe in. Like, I feel like in a relationship there has to be some sort of polarity, whether it be masculine and feminine, yin and yang. Like, I think there has to be a balance in those things. It could interchange, but in general, like even in friendships, there's usually one that has like a more yin and one is more yang in any type of relationship dynamic. And also how to have healthy conversations with people, because I had somewhat of a relationship hiccup in the beginning of the year with one of my friendships. And how do you kind of communicate healthily and clearly in terms of what you want from that relationship and like what that really looks like, and how do you have a really healthy and productive conversation where you don't hurt each other's feelings. Number 2, selling yourself. And sales is a really valuable skill to master and have. So I learned this while I was learning a bit about real estate, and also while I was working at GYA or Educate, while I was working for Iman, and how sales is so important because it's in every facet of your life. You're always selling yourself, whether it's a job interview, whether you're going out with someone in a romantic relationship or whatever, something like that. You have to sell yourself, and it's such an important skill to have because it plays on human psychology and all those things. So I think it's really important, and I think there's always a negative connotation when it comes to sales, but I think it's really important, to be honest. A bit of a lighting change because I had to go out and do some stuff, but let's get back to it. I think sales is really important because I think people have a really negative connotation when it comes to sales, because I think people always think that, oh, sales is about trying to get money out of someone, and it's about using these tricks to get the best outcome for yourself and be really selfish to get money from other people. Whereas I think it's much more about psychology and how do you help the other people reach a logical decision. I think that's the beauty of sales, and it's also learning about how do you assert yourself and come across confidently. Third thing is I have a great personality. So obviously not everyone knows me that well, so this is just for myself to kind of hype myself up and have confidence. You know, from meeting different people at different places and at different workplaces, I realized the sort of charm that I have to talk to other people and being able to empathize and sympathize with people and see where they're coming from as well. Especially feeling like I'm always in the middle of different viewpoints and worldviews and cultures. I think it's really important to see yourself as a bridge and being able to relate to different cultures instead of seeing yourself as I don't really belong anywhere. That's something I've learned as well. Number 4, I can do anything I put my mind to. So I kind of knew this already, but I think it's really important to always remind myself of that because I tend to forget who I am and where I'm from in a way. For example, with running the business, meeting new people, and sales, becoming the top sales rep, even though having no prior experience. And being a girl in a group of lads and still smashing it when it comes to sales. And also when it comes to running a marathon. As you know, the old company I worked at asked everyone to run a marathon, and it's always been on top of my bucket list, but I never got to do it. And actually putting my mind to it and training for almost half a year and actually running it has been really rewarding, and just seeing that if I put my mind to it, I can actually do it. Number 5, relationships change, and that's okay, and it's a part of growth. So I had a lot of changing dynamics with some of my closest friends this year towards the end after I started the business, or when I started working in sales, because I think it was 180-degree change for me as well. So in a way, I think my mindset changed a lot, and how I view things changed a lot as well. And I think that's just a part of growing up and having different viewpoints. And I think sometimes friendships fizzle out and they change because of who you are as a person. It's kind of similar to you fizzle out a lot of friendships compared to when you're in high school and uni as well. I think that's what happened to me, but that's just a part of growth, and I have to accept that. Number 6, how people's worldviews are so different and how that shape assumptions of others. So I don't know if I talked about this a lot, but the people I worked in my old company versus people at uni have very different worldviews and perspectives of the world. They have very different opinions and values when it comes to different things in life. So they have different stances for everything. And I think that was something I really struggled a lot with, because I was like, who am I to be in these different groups of people? And I always felt like I was just one group, and now I'm in the middle of 2 groups. And sort of similar to what I said before, it's about recognizing that you have that ability. I mean, I have that ability to relate to different people, and you can agree with some things and disagree with some things. It's just about having an open conversation about it, and it's cool. But at the same time, I still find it just so crazy how, because someone has an opposite opinion of you, it really shapes that individual's opinion of the other person who disagrees with that opinion, political or not. And I just think that's so crazy. I think it's so important to have empathy and understand where the other person is coming from, instead of just writing them off and just assuming they're this type of person, therefore I don't want to engage with them at all. Because I think what makes life interesting is having different perspectives and opinions and just being able to chat about them openly. But I'll be really honest, sometimes it does feel a bit difficult when you know people can have bias to other stuff when they know that your opinion is one way and not the same as what they think. Number 7, leadership, good and bad. So I guess in a way, I kind of learned about what good leadership and bad leadership looks like, and how you should manage people, just based on different stuff I've seen across different workplaces, and how people leave not because of the job. It could be because of bad leadership. It could be because of other things, and how the hierarchy is in the company and how people manage people. And as a leader, how do you effectively motivate people in the company to help them, do the best work they can? And that's not to say I am a perfect, person and I know how to do it properly, but I guess it's just about evaluating different atmospheres in the company and just seeing what makes people motivated, what makes people want to go to work every day. Because I think the leader that's in that company plays such a huge part in getting people to work and making them feel happy and welcome in the workplace. Number 8, the importance of knowing marketing and sales. I guess this ties into sales as well, and how, now when I see different businesses doing their, marketing and stuff, like how important that is for any product or service. Because no matter how good your product and service is, if no one knows about it, then you're not gonna have a good business. I feel like there are things that I learned this year where, how do people plan events and how do people sell themselves through marketing? It's so crazy for me to think that, there are some products out there that are way better than others, but because their marketing is not on point, so in a way they get less traffic, even though their product is better than some people. And to me, that's just crazy. That just shows how crazy marketing is. And it's literally about how well you market yourselves. Like, not that your product isn't important, but it's just such a crucial thing, because unless people know your product, they're not going to know how well you are. So you have to actively market yourself, and that just shows how important marketing and sales is. That's why that's the bloodline of every business. Number 9, getting paid for your value you bring instead of the time and hours you work. I think this was a huge shift on my part after reading some finance books, and how you really want to go for getting paid based on the value you bring instead of the hours you work. Because I always knew that I didn't want to get paid for the hours I work, but rather the value I bring, because I don't want to work for the rest, well, not the rest of my life, but just long hours. And it's like the longer I work, the more I get paid in a way. Like, it just didn't make sense in my brain. So that was one thing I switched. Number 10, surrendering to life and just spirituality. So I read this book called The Surrender Experiment, and it's one of the books I really like and I highly recommend it to anyone. It's by Michael Asinger, and it's really about just letting life take its flow and accepting whatever comes your way. And I think that's such a good notion to have, because so many things in your life is out of your control. And instead of being mad about it or rejecting it in your head, how do you just welcome it and just surrender to life's flow and be like, that's okay. I'm just going to take whatever life comes my way, and it's completely okay. I accept it. I, welcome it with open arms. Number 11, mindset is everything. I do think skill is important, but I think a lot of the times mindset is what keeps you going, especially in business and other parts in life as well. Like, it's just about believing in yourself and believing it, having the determination to think that it's going to work. A large part of it comes down to that, I think, because if you don't have a good mindset, no matter how well technically skilled you are, you're not going to take yourself far, because I think just the mindset of being positive and believing in yourself can just take you far in places. Number 12, having patience. Kind of a cliche saying, but all good thing comes to those who wait. And, everything happens for a reason. So just letting life figure out the timeline for you. I used to be so impatient when it comes to myself and achievements that, whenever I start a new thing, I'm like, why is it taking so slow? But as all things in life, it takes, you need to have a longer time horizon for things. And also just being really impatient with the actions you take, but patient with the outcomes. There are so many times where I'm like, why isn't this still working? But in the long run, it's only a couple of months, and that's nothing. I know it feels like a long time when you're actually in it, but I have to remind myself it's a longer game, it's a long time horizon, there's so much time ahead of me, it's okay. So that's something I learned, just really want to be patient for 2024. Number 13, just believing in yourself more. This is a quote on my phone that just says, as long as you don't give up, you can't fail. You basically win by just not giving up, and I think that's something I try to remind myself a lot. And everything happens for a reason. So I just have to believe in myself a lot more. And so here's to another crazier year for 2024. I just feel, across 2023, it's such a dramatic year when it comes to my career and also relationships and friendships. I still feel like I'm an incredibly lucky person in this world to have learned so much in just this 1 year alone. And I'm just so, so grateful for everything, especially having my mom by my side. And she has just been such an important person to my growth this year. I honestly don't know what I will do without her. No words can just describe the beauty that I've seen this year, and I'm so grateful for everything that I've learned. I think the universe has been very kind to me, and I'm just trying to bring that gratefulness into 2024. I recognize a lot of privilege that I have as well in this life, but I think everyone in this world has privilege, and I think it's just about channeling that belief that I have into the work I do and bringing it strong into 2024. So goals for 2024 would be, kind of having more patience, letting life take its flow, and be content with whatever outcome there is, and just be chill with stuff. If things don't work out, it's okay. Everything happens for a reason. And, also focusing on cultivating more meaningful relationships, whether that be romantic or friendship-wise, building a community when it comes to entrepreneurship. I think those are things I want to work on. And yeah, I'm proud of myself. And one thing I really want to work on is how to keep going despite feeling fear. I have a lot of fear in my heart. After meditating, I actually meditated 30 minutes the other day, and I realized I have so much fear and pain in my heart, but I really want to be able to do well despite all of that. And it's always going to be a journey. It's always going to be a lot of growth and spiritual growth. I'm still so young, I guess. So I really want to do that, and I wish myself all the best of luck in 2024, and I'm also wishing you the best of luck in 2024. I really hope I can post more on YouTube and share more of my life, even if it's just talking videos. I feel like I try not to worry too much about the views and just be my authentic self on here and share the journey. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for 2023 and 2024. So wishing you all the best of luck, all you glorious people, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.